Since the launch of Legion, there has been a huge popularity around one specific class, and that is the Assassination Rogue. This class in particular seems to do a ton of damage. It seems to be picked the most out of all the other rogue specs, and also honestly like all of the specs combined. I think that Assassination Rogue really has a lot of versatilities for a lot of different comps right now. And I know that I did a class overview on it, but I think it's nice to circle back and tell you guys exactly how it's been going so far and why it's so strong in a PvP arena situation, or really any PvP situation, I guess. So again, if you haven't watched it in the last few days, the North American regionals just happened, which means that the best players in the world fought against each other, and Assassination Rogue was one of the most popular choices and one of the most relevant throughout the entire tournament itself, I guess, which means that this class in particular has been played a lot on the ladder. People have been practicing a lot in the higher ratings, and I think that overall this class has just seen a lot of has seen a lot of attention being paid to it. So I want to talk about why is it that this class, this spec in particular, offers so much as opposed to others. Now, when you look at Assassination Rogue, they have something that no other class really has. Well, Feral Druid is kind of similar, but Assassination Rogue in particular offers a ton of single target dot damage, okay? And with that being said, this comes through the form of bleeds and poisons. So if you do a specific opener for rogues, what you're going to do, I'm actually playing a class trial, by the way, so I don't have the 110, I don't have the artifact ability, so I'm just going to have to kind of hypothetically explain it as I go, so stick with me. But what you're going to do is you're really going to garrote into a rupture immediately, just so you can get the bleed going, and then you're going to mutilate twice. You're going to kidney shot him, and then Vendetta, Kingslayer. Hypothetically, I don't have Kingslayer because that's the artifact ability, and then you mutilate again and get to that 5-point Envenom, and that's how you would do an opener with all of your cooldowns aside from Exsanguinate. Now, I've been talking with a couple high-rated arena players that play Assassination Rogue, and they say that using Exsanguinate in the opener is not really necessary because it's nice to have that after the Vendetta falls down, and when you have Vendetta going, they usually die anyways. So going full all in with an Exsanguinate usually will say that you're not going to have a whole lot of cooldowns for the follow-up damage in case that player does survive the Vendetta. So I'm going to be saving Exsanguinate from this opening rotation and just show you exactly what it looks like for now. So again, what we're going to do is going to start in stealth. We're going to go ahead and garrote into an immediate rupture, so not a 5-point rupture to start with. Then we're going to mutilate twice, kidney shot, Vendetta, hypothetically Kingslayer, imagine it, and then mutilate up to a 5-point Envenom. Okay, so let's go ahead and start that. So we're going to hit this, and then I didn't have my bars set up, so we're going to rupture, right? Then we're going to mutilate twice, and then we're going to kidney shot, Vendetta, hypothetically Kingslayer, mutilate again, get up to those combo points, and then hit that Envenom. And we're going to be doing a huge amount of damage at this point, probably killing a player, right? Now, again, on the class draw, I don't have the Honor Talents available. I don't have the Kingslayer ability, so you're missing some damage in this example specifically. But as you can see, I had a lot of dots running on this training dummy here. And on top of that, what you would be getting at level 110 is you would be getting extra artifact traits. You'd be getting System Shock, which is a really, really big deal. And System Shock allows for a lot of damage to be on a target whenever you envenom them while they have all those dots up. And you're really going to be looking at a lot of that single target damage, okay? But again, we have to come back to why it's stronger than other classes. And I think that really does come down to the consistency and the pressure that it can lay down on an arena target. And not only that, but we can really pressure at any time another class in particular. So again, with Arena specifically, if I were to put all of those dots up with Vendetta on a target, what you can actually do is you can garrote another target, and you can garrote the third target if you so choose to, and you'll be getting a lot of energy back with this passive right here called Venomous Wounds, which means that you regain 10 energy each time your abilities deal bleed damage to a poison target. So if you have that poison and bleed on a target, you're going to be getting back a lot of energy. You're going to be getting back a lot of abilities to always use whenever you need that damage. And one thing that's very apparent with Assassination Rogue is that they can always be putting damage on a target. But they also have the perk of playing with Kidney Shot. They also have the perk of playing with things that allow you to control, but not as much as like subtlety, for example. So with subtlety is like all about controlling and cheap shotting and doing a lot of things that will keep multiple targets from playing their class, and also having a strong amount of mobility. But with assassination, they do a lot of damage on top of like a decent amount of control. You don't have blind, which is kind of a bummer because blind is so imperative to like playing mage rogue, for example, in twos. But again, like if we look at threes, if you play with a druid or if you play with a priest, for example, they have fear, which kind of goes with that weakness of not having blind, right? It's just kind of a bummer, but you trade off getting more damage for less CC as opposed to playing subtlety, where you would get more CC and less damage. And if we look at the outlaw rogue, the problem with outlaw rogue in particular is that it's too random. So with the roll the bones talent, if you don't know what that is, it's not a talent, it's just an ability. Roll the bones, what it's going to do is actually allow you to like randomly get 1 to 6 procs. But the problem is that when you get those 1 procs or you get a bad buff whenever you use roll the bones, it's like not as fun, and also doesn't have as much damage. So like you can do really well as outlaw, but you can also do really poorly, and most people like to play with the consistency of assassination, and that's why it's so strong and also chosen so often, is because whenever you have that vendetta up or whenever you have that insanguinate up, you can do an insane amount of damage to somebody. You can train a healer, you can do those things that subtlety really can't offer. And I think that with assassination in particular, you're really going to be tearing people down very quickly and also consistently. So that's kind of like why it's so popular in Arena right now as opposed to other classes. So if you look at like Feral Druid, there's a lot more to work, or like there's a lot more that you have to do in order to get to that damage, and it's also really reliant on cooldowns. Whereas like Assassination doesn't really have to do that, and also Rogue is one of those classes that people in general just like to play, so you're going to see more Rogues than Feral Druids, because that's just like overall popularity and community like perception on that class, I suppose. But regardless, guys, what we have for you after this is going to be some arenas from a really high rated rogue player. Nessper, actually, he's like one of the top rogues. He was one of the top rogues in Warlords of Draenor, and he's playing Assassination at like the highest level possible in Arena right now, at the highest rating possible. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that, and you guys can see Assassination Rogue in action, exactly how it's played at the top rating. So let's get into it.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
And that does sum it up, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to give a big thumbs up. I don't have access to the 110 templates like I did in beta, but I'm actually working on getting that unlocked for me. So we're going to see if we can do that. But regardless, I hope that the class trial was enough to at least get my point across as to why this class is so popular. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more tutorials like this. I will be doing a variety of things throughout Mythic Plus. I'll be doing PvP stuff, and I'll be also introducing PvP tutorials as time goes on. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.